Backing the No Kings protests. We're going to identify and call out every MAGA terrorist we're aware of that showed up to attack or threaten No Kings protests. And if you have more examples of MAGA terrorists in at No Kings protests specifically or since then, list them in comments. List where they occurred. Anything else you can to describe them. If you don't have information on MAGA terrorists, don't comment because you'll be considered a terrorist supporter if you try to distract from the focus on MAGA terrorists, Trump-near terrorists. Of course, we all know, although they haven't called him a terrorist yet, they did call the Boulder firebomber who didn't kill anyone a terrorist. Before they put the fire out, they called that person a terrorist. And they tried to deport their family and their dog, and a judge had to stop them from deporting their family. Meanwhile, when a Trump-near terrorist is killing congresswomen, the cops are trying to let them continue killing congresswomen. They're trying to encourage more killings in Minnesota. Trump's probably never spoken out against it, I don't think. He's probably going to blame the Democrats. It's been days, and they still haven't called him a terrorist, and it's been days. But that terrorist struck the night before the No Kings protest at these lawmakers' houses and had a list of 70 other people to attack. That's a terrorist. Like, what, not calling them a terrorist makes you a terrorist supporter. So that goes for most of the news agencies, everyone I've heard of. It's like they don't have to charge him for terrorism for the news agencies to go ahead and call the person a terrorist when it's really obvious what it is, terror. And the hesitancy to call him a terrorist is terrorist assassinations. It's terrorist, Trump-near, typical MAGA, violent terrorist assassinations. Which reminds me of my first joke about it, to lighten the mood. Who will the first revenge killings be? Who do you think their first revenge killings will be? Elon Musk? Something less white? Like a sheet of paper when they write a strongly worded letter? But anyway, I don't know if I'm going to tell any more jokes other than that one. I'll probably tell that one again as soon as anyone arrives. So you'll know someone came into... If you're watching this in the future, here at 2 minutes into the live, you'll know that someone actually came into the live if I repeat the joke. Who do you think the first revenge killings will be? Elon Musk? Something less white? Like a sheet of paper when they write a strongly worded letter? So anyway, but who do you think... Somebody just came in. So who do you think the first revenge killings will be? Who would you elect? Oh, they left. They didn't have anything to say. So anyway, the Trump terrorist who struck on No King's Day. There was the one in Minnesota that they haven't called a terrorist yet, even though he killed congresswomen. There's that one, the one that Trump threw the parade for, who killed congresswomen. There's that Trump terrorist to get the party started, to get their ball rolling. Then there was a Trump terrorist at Salt Lake City No Kings protest. The Trump terrorist at Salt Lake City No Kings protest, Adam Mockler did a whole thing about him, and he mentioned two of the other ones, but he didn't mention the third other one. So there's, for even people who are doing reports on Trump terrorists attacking No Kings protests, there's always more Trump terrorists attacking them. Poe Collector's back. So Poe Collector is a Trump terrorist, and the Trump terrorist Poe Collector says, "So guess what? I've reported your channel. I am also going to take a step further into this and report your channel to the police for trying to dox me." Dude, you're not going to do that. You're going to dox yourself. I'm saying we're going to track you down and find you, and the police can watch this because they need to be the ones tracking you down, or they're terrorists. They're terrorist supporters supporting terrorism. I'm calling out terrorism. You're trying to distract from calling out terrorism because you're a terrorist supporter. You've identified in plenty of ways that you're a terrorist. So yeah, call the FBI. Calls coming from inside the house. The FBI's Timu KGB. The FBI's terrorists too. The FBI is helping these terrorists. The FBI helped the terrorist in Minnesota. They wanted him to kill more congresswomen. The FBI and cops helped him. If the FBI and cops weren't terrorists, they would have arrested the Red Lion security company that he ran. It's his terrorist cell. They would have arrested the other terrorists in his terrorist cell and interrogated them. Instead, a posse of real American heroes will need to arrest the Red Lion security terrorist cell and waterboard them to get the information out. You're the ones leaving comments that have to be reviewed, but you're distracting from calling out Trump terrorists on the only anti-Trump channel on TikTok. Okay, here comes the Poe Collector. This was the message held for review. LOL, you're delusional, man, and you need full professional help. No, one of your Trump terrorists murdered congresswomen in Minnesota. There's nothing delusional about that. That's the news. A Trump terrorist, one of you Trump terrorists murdered the congresswoman in Minnesota. You're protecting that Trump terrorist, right? You're protecting the Trump terrorist, right? So you're a terrorist. You're protecting the Trump terrorist who murdered the congresswoman in Minnesota. That makes you a terrorist. You're following this? Are you doing this math? You support Trump and Putin, who are terrorists. That makes you a terrorist. You doing this math? You're a terrorist. Okay? Stop being a terrorist. Okay? Look what happened to the other 4 terrorists that we know about that struck on No King's Day. 4 other MAGA terrorists, besides the Minnesota terrorist that struck on No King's Day. Salt Lake City terrorist, Salt Lake City MAGA terrorist, Salt Lake City Trump-Putineer MAGA terrorist shot somebody at the No Kings protest in Salt Lake City and either shot himself or somebody else shot him. Then an American hero took his guns away, and then some cops took him away. Salt Lake City, man dressed all in black, kind of long hair, MAGA terrorist in Salt Lake City at the No Kings protest in Salt Lake City, a MAGA terrorist shot somebody. Did you hear about it anywhere other than the only anti-Trump live on YouTube? No, because the media are terrorist supporters as well. They can be charged for that. They can lose their houses for that. They can lose their citizenship for that, just like you should. Okay, Poe Collector's comments that have to be approved and take extra work, even though we're only supposed to be live for like 3 more minutes. Your mouth is off and you're stupid. That's what Poe Collector says. Poe Collector, being Russian, 15 years old, troll. Lost your soul, but you know what? You can't protect Putin from a cardboard drone. Or I hope you try. I hope it takes you both. Cardboard drone away from a post-Putin world. Anyway, back to the other Trump terrorists. Besides getting distracted by the terrorist in chat. You're distracting yourself by spreading false messages and propaganda, says the Trump terrorist Poe Collector. Joined 2 years ago, has 2 subscribers. Typical Trump-Putineer terrorist. Anyway, so we've read all the Trump terrorist comments. We've read the Trump terrorist comments that they keep typing. But the second Trump terrorist that I heard about, besides the Minnesota killer, was the red shirt guy in Phoenix, who an American hero started beating his ass, and then some other American heroes saved his ass, saved his life. The other protesters, because it's a peaceful protest, so the other protesters saved his life, and instead of being grateful for that, he pulled out a gun on all of them because someone was beating his ass, because he's a coward, like all you fucking gun-toting Trump-Putineers. Coward pieces of shit. You know you're a coward piece of shit. That's why you're here, to hear me tell you that you're a coward piece of shit if you're a Trump-Putineer. You didn't say anything. You're not going to answer what? Oh, yeah, right. Who's going to be the first revenge killing? Who's going to be the first revenge killing? Will it be Elon Musk or something less white? Like a piece of paper when they write a strongly worded letter. So, the Phoenix Trump terrorist was wearing a red shirt. Someone almost killed him. Someone started beating his ass. He would not have been able to fight back. He was getting his ass beat. And if the peaceful protesters had not pulled the guy off, he probably would have been killed. One less Trump-Putineer in the world, nobody would have been sad about it. And it's self-defense. The guy showed up with a gun and almost got killed with someone's bare hands. Self-defense. The other peaceful protesters probably really should have let that guy finish him off in Phoenix. That's the red-shirted guy in Phoenix. That's the red-shirted Trump terrorist. The Trump terrorist in Phoenix with the red shirt, who got saved by the peaceful protest from the guy who was going to kill him and beat his ass for being a Nazi. He pulled a gun on everybody, and he got taken off by the cops. You might have seen that video. Adam Mockler had seen that video. He had also seen the Salt Lake City guy in all in black, the Trump terrorist at the No Kings protest, all in black, who got his rifle taken away after shooting somebody. An American hero took his rifle away, and then the cops took him away. And we're just going to do this live again. We're going to shut this one down in 45 seconds, and we're going to do this live again because Trump terrorists tried to protect their own Trump terrorists by distracting me with comments and took up the time of the live. So we're going to have to come back and talk about the Trump terrorists again. The 5 that I know of, let me know if you know of other Trump terrorists besides the 5 that struck on No King's Day. The one in Minnesota in the night, the one in Salt Lake City in all black at the Salt Lake City No King's Day protest, who shot somebody there, and got shot himself, and the cops took him away. The Trump terrorist at Phoenix in the red shirt, who pulled his gun on everybody after somebody beat his ass, or somebody was beating his ass, but the rest of the peaceful protests saved his life by getting that person to stop beating his ass. The Nashville guy who did a Roman salute and said Heil Trump, or Heil, kept saying Heil Trump's idol, doing Roman salutes and had a rifle and is a Nazi. That was a Nashville Trump terrorist who struck. Like, we've got at least 4 of them so far. Let me know in comments if you know any other. You didn't ask a question, Christian E. You just screamed, you're not going to answer. You not going to answer? And then somebody else, broke boy outdoors, put a bunch of laughing emojis to support terrorism. Like, you decided to put a bunch of laughing emojis to identify yourself as a Trump terrorist? So you're supporting Trump terrorism. You're supporting the terrorists that keep attacking the No King's Day protests. And Broke Boy Outdoors channel activity includes joined 3 years ago and no subscribers. So he drew his gun in self-defense? No, he drew his gun because he's a weak terrorist. Someone was beating his ass, and then he drew his gun and aimed it at the entire crowd because he's a Trump terrorist like you. Like you. You're a Trump terrorist. So you decided to leave these comments, which means you forfeit your citizenship, you forfeit your house, we give it to an immigrant, you get deported to Siberia or whatever Ukraine renames it. We win, you lose, Putin stinks, Netanyahu's getting his Iron Dome taken over by Iran, he's bombing himself. That's what you guys are. Zelensky destroyed 1/3 of your planes. That's what you guys are. Your Trump terrorists keep killing people, but what will the first revenge killing be? Elon Musk? Something less white? A piece of paper when they write a strongly worded letter? Trumpers are terrorists. 5 Trump terrorists that I know of struck on No King's Day. Let me know in comments if you know of any other Trump terrorists who struck on No King's Day. Otherwise, don't say shit because you're a Trump terrorist and you'll be identified as a Trump terrorist. You should be identified as a Trump terrorist. Tracked down, relieved of your citizenship and possessions, and shipped off in a box to Siberia. Let's see what the Trump terrorists are saying in comments. Well, if you're only one who cares, one of my questions then, you're the only one who can't see my questions then. Oh my gosh, this guy's like really proud of the fact that he typed a message in chat that he can see. I can't see your question. Poe Collector says, people like this shouldn't even have a channel. So he wants censorship because he's a fascist Nazi piece of terrorist shit. So Poe Collector, you realize that what you are is a fascist Nazi piece of terrorist shit, right? Oh, I reported you. I even reported you to the police for trying to dox me. Yeah, you're a terrorist because you're a terrorist. You want the terrorist police to attack me because you're a fucking terrorist Nazi Trumper piece of shit. Like every Trumper, a Nazi piece of terrorist shit. Okay? Everyone hates you. Everyone will always hate you. Everyone will only increasingly hate you throughout time. Think about how we hate the Nazis. We're going to hate Trump-Putiners more than that because we had 80 years of hating the Nazis to point out how that was a bad way to go, and y'all went full force, both feet in. I'm the only one who can't see your question. You have to retype your question if it was important, but it's not. What was important was talking about the 5 Trump terrorists that we know of that struck on No King's Day. That no media is talking about it. Even the media that is talking about it is already leaving out 1 or 2 of them. Even Adam Mockler or anybody on YouTube who's talking about it is leaving out 1 or 2 of them. Or 10 of them, because it seems like for everyone we know about, there's another 20 or 30 more that we haven't heard about yet. So it's just a matter of talking to it with people who actually care instead of talking to it with Trump terrorists like yourselves, who's the only people YouTube puts in my life are Trump terrorists like you, to terrorize and to support terrorism. And you're supporting terrorism, so you should have consequences just for that. Anyway, we'll get to you eventually. Just because y'all are so fucking low on the scale. We'll get to Elon Musk first. Again, first, who will the first revenge killings be? Elon Musk? Something less white? A sheet of paper when they write a strongly worded letter? Anyway, we're shutting this live down real soon. We're already 5 minutes over time, but I'll read the rest of it. I mean, you can try. Broken Boy Outdoors, who has no followers, no content, nothing to say. So you could try to take my house and deport me. Yeah, we can take your house and deport you. You've kind of indicated you have a house. That house can be given to an immigrant. An immigrant is far more American than you are or ever will be. Your ass should be deported to Siberia or whatever Ukraine renames it. We're going to deport all Trumputineers to Siberia or whatever Ukraine renames it. Who will the first revenge killing be? Elon Musk or something less white, like a sheet of paper when they write a strongly worded letter? See what their Trumputineers' comments are. The thing you're not understanding, I don't care about politics. Putin told me say I don't care politics. Like, everyone hates Trumputineers. You should lose your house. You try to distract a live that's attempting to expose Trump terrorists. When I told you, if you try to distract from exposing Trump terrorists, it's because you're a terrorist. So whether you care about politics, you're a terrorist. So you should lose your house. You should lose your citizenship. Your family should also be deported with you. You know, they tried to deport the family of the guy that firebombed through the firebomb in Boulder. Before they put the fires out, they called him a terrorist. They tried to deport his family and his dog. A judge stopped him from deporting it. Thankfully, an American judge did the American thing and stopped him from deporting his family. But when they caught the family of the Minnesota terrorist, the MAGA Trumputineer terrorist, with money and passports trying to run for the border, ironic, they let them go. Not to run for the border. I mean, maybe they did anyway. But they're not trying to deport that terrorist family. Because you terrorists have a terrorist in the White House. You have no power. You are with you. Just complain. You are sad, says Christian E. Yeah, actually, I have all the power. Jesus is on my side. So is every single spirit being and goddess and God there is. And you have nothing on your side. You have Putin. You have Netanyahu. You have Trump. And you're all going down. You're all going down with them just like Elon Musk. You're destroying your lives. And I guess they were nothing worth not destroying anyway. See what the rest of you guys have. Oh, I have 50 cal. I have 50 cal. Oh, I have 50 cal. Yeah, go ahead and put the whole shopping list on there. You're a weapons cache. You have 150 caliber and you're bragging about that? You're nothing. You're a weapons cache. You're a drone target. What's a 50 cal gonna do? Who is attacking you? Well, the Trump terrorist attacked Salt Lake City. A Trump terrorist attacked Salt Lake City. Guy in black shot somebody. Got shot himself, and a real American hero took his rifles away. That was one Trump terrorist in Salt Lake City. This is all the day after the Trump terrorist shot people in Minnesota. Shot the congresswoman in Minnesota. Trump terrorist shot congresswoman in Minnesota and her husband. Trump terrorist then went to shoot other congressmen and their wife in their bed, and cops let him go. Cops and Timu KGB, the FBI, let him go to try to shoot some more. Phoenix terrorist tried to shoot people. Trumputineer terrorist at the No Kings. Phoenix protest tried to shoot people in a red shirt. Cops took him away. In Nashville, Trump terrorist did the Elon salute and said Heil Elon, or Heil, Trump's hero, a bunch, and was terrorizing people there. Another Trump terrorist. Adam Mockler didn't have that guy on his program. So we know about 4 Trump terrorists who struck that day, but no one's talking about it. How many are we missing? You're only supposed to leave a comment if you have information about another Trump terrorist who struck on No King's Day that we haven't talked about yet. We're shutting this down because no one's doing that. All you guys are doing is leaving evidence to get your houses taken away because you're supporting terrorism, because you're Trumputineers. You guys are terrorist trash. And we all hate you. Like, everyone in the world hates you more than anyone. And all we do is hate you more and more and more as time goes on. You guys are trying to make AI child porn legal because AI child porn deepfakes legal, because that's what Trump's big beautiful bill does. That's what you guys want. That's what you guys are. Fucking scum. Fucking the worst people that have ever lived. Let's read your comments. The worst people that ever lived, since we've already gone twice as long as we should. No one here is attacking you, says. Yeah, you should have left a long time ago, broke boy outdoors. You were way out of your depth here. I don't care about politics. I asked if trans person helped someone. Does that make trans rape? I can't read what you're saying. You're just saying some racist, rapist stuff. Ask Diddy and Trump, your heroes. James Christmas says, why couldn't you guys just celebrate the Army's birthday without politics? Oh, the Army's birthday. Okay, you're Russian, okay? You're a Nazi. You're a Trumputineer traitor, okay? You don't care about the Army. You made the Army look like trash. You insulted the Army more than anything else has ever done except for Trump himself. You insulted the Army just now by trying to say we should have celebrated the birthday of the Army. And you saw what that parade looked like. Trash. You're embarrassing. Those people were embarrassed. They're ashamed of you. We're all ashamed of you. Everyone in America is ashamed of Trump-Hooteniers. Who will the first revenge killing be, though? Elon Musk? Or something less white, like a sheet of paper when they write a strongly worded letter? You're not Christian, or if you are Christian, you're an Antichrist church. Church of Judas replaces all your churches. We're going to replace every Trump-Hootenier church, every patriarchy church. We're replacing every one of your churches. Tell your church you're getting replaced by the Church of Judas. The Church of Judas is the one that's going to replace your church. Even if you don't go to church, replace the churches in your area. List some of the names of the churches in your area, and I'll focus on it to make sure it comes true. Sooner for you. Let's see. What are the rest of the Russian comments? So you want communism? Poke Collector says, because this job is just to spread propaganda and hate, calling everyone that himself is a terrorist. No, just Trump-Hooteniers. You Trump-Hooteniers are terrorists. MAGA's terrorists. You guys are terrorists. You know you're terrorists. You're terrorists. Stop being terrorists. You're worse than ISIS. You're worse than Al-Qaeda. You're worse than who are other terrorists? You're worse than them. You're the worst people that have ever lived. You're terrorists. You're the worst people and the worst terrorists that have ever lived. Read my question, says Christian. No. You're not Christian. He's a coward. You know who's a coward? Is the guy, the Phoenix guy in the red shirt who showed up at the No Kings protest, and when someone beat the living fuck out of him with their bare hands, he had to pull his gun out and wave it at everybody. Of course, he got taken away by the cops. Probably not charged, probably just given a party and patted on the back and sent back on the streets to be another terrorist, just like the ones they had in Minnesota. I think you should be deported, says Broke Boy Outdoors, who doesn't do politics. Well, you should be deported, Broke Boy Outdoors. And your outdoors, your tent should be given to an immigrant who's more American than you. Christian says, read Christian question. No. Actually, in Minnesota was part of the Democratic Party of the... So James Christmas said these things. James Christmas's channel activity joined 4 years ago and has 2 subscribers. We're screenshotting that. James Christmas, you can track this guy down. James Christmas was commenting at, what is it, about 2 o'clock Mountain Time, about 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. During this live, his comments were, did you serve in the military? Go see Mao in China. Actually, Minnesota was part of the Democratic Party of the governor. So, spreading Putin misinformation because he's a terrorist, because he's supporting the terrorist who killed people in Minnesota. Oh, who will the first revenge killing be? Elon Musk? Or something less white? Like a sheet of paper when they write a strongly worded letter. Salt Lake City terrorist was all in black. Somebody took his rifles away from him. Phoenix terrorist was in a red shirt. Nashville terrorist was saying Heil Hitler and doing Roman salutes because he's a terrorist, because he's a Nazi like all of you.